Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Sahitya Abhyasa Academy. I am Anjum. Today I am going to give a class on biography of Thomas More. Yes, he is a famous writer for his writing that is Utopia. It is one of a famous work which is written by Thomas More, and also it is a syllabus of MA first semester syllabus. Let's begin about the Thomas biography. Yes, here Thomas More was an eminent English humanist. Humanist, the follower of human values. Follower of human values like art, following the learning the classical works, literature, human life, in a good way, and doing the good things to the people, and trying to give the knowledge to the common people about the classical work. Following of these themes are called as a humanist, because it is okay. Shall tell you further why he is considered as a humanist and why this term has utilized during the Renaissance period of England. And also he is a lawyer. He is a lawyer and about a lawyer and an author and a statesman's wise person, and also martyr of the Renaissance period. See this word, how the word has been utilized in his biography, that is martyr, mean the person who dies for nation, a person who dies for spiritual, a person who dies for taking care of state or nation. Yes, but here what happens him to make this title in his biography means he shows the disapprove towards King Henry VIII. What is that? What is that disapprove? This fellow means king wants to marry a lady and give the divorce to the first wife. Wants to get second marriage with a lady, one of lady, and want to give a divorce to the first wife. This is what shows the oppose by Thomas More. Marriage is a sacred thing. You don't do such thing. It is the words which the Pope, what the Pope is going to tell you about this sacred marriage. It is your duty. Being a king, it's your duty. You are not highest from that God. Getting my point? You are not highest from the God. It is your duty to follow the Pope's word. If Pope allow you to get second marriage, you do. If he does not allow you to second marriage, it is duty of yours to stop that one. So this is how he put the words, opposite words to whom? King Henry VIII. And also there is one more incident. After this incident, King has established a new church and made him himself as a head. Himself head of that church. Accept me as your head. Who is telling this thing? King Henry VIII telling this thing to the Thomas More. Accept me as your head. What the reply of that Thomas More? No, I couldn't, because you are the second position of in my eyes. The first position will be the God. I should accept the head of this, means I should accept the God as a primary, and you will be the secondary. And about the head means the Pope is the head of the church. Yes, he has all rights. He knows about the religious themes, religious rules and regulation terms. That is what we should follow the Pope, because he is the representation of God. Of course not God, but he is the representation. He only the person who takes us to the heaven. So how you could become the head of the church? Mr. King, my lord, no, I won't accept you as a head. For this reason, he punished. He put him to the, means the king has put him to the jail. There, the life has taken his. That's why the name comes, that is martyred. Hope so you have understood in my simple language. Fine. And martyr of the Renaissance period. Should know this Renaissance. Why the Renaissance has emerged in England? Keep this thing, because the southern part of Europe has seen the emergence of Renaissance in there. In a human being called people, they are come out from the blind beliefs, superstitious, and they gave the complete submission themselves towards to learning of classical literature. Getting my point? Classical literature and classical works, they showed the importance about the humanism, following of human values, love, respect to the people, giving the equality. That is what human values, no? As and learning to the classical literature, art, architecture, improve their own or create their own literature. So this is what the reasons, themes of Renaissance. In first, it is started from Italy. That reflects to the England. Getting my point? These are the themes. Southern part of Europe has seen the Italian Renaissance, which is spread the further part of country called northern part of Europe, like England, Germany, France. Here we can see the emergence of Renaissance period during this moment. That's why we have studied the part of Renaissance period in history of English literature, how it has made the influence of the people of England, Germany and France. Okay, so this is how the Renaissance period. During this period, we can see the martyred of a martyred point of Thomas More in his personality. Point means he has died. Usually we have not put the word called a died. Instead that we use the martyred, because his life has been taken away from him for the sake of showing the disrespect, betraying the nation or a religious themes. That's why the king has taken his life. For that reason, he has considered, he has told the word that is martyred. Fine. And born in England 1478, he became one of the most prominent important figure of the northern Renaissance. Am I getting my point? Just I have introduced about the northern part of Europe. It is influenced by the southern part of Europe. What the southern part Europe's themes are there about the humanism, it is transferred into the England. They are also got the inspiration from their Renaissance, emergence of their Renaissance. And here, after taking this here in the land, and people will enlighten with themselves. People has made themselves enlightened, coming out from the superstitions, blind belief. Everyone started to take the education and come to know the complete meaning of Bible, what it is included. We should not take the words of Pope. Instead that we should read this one and we should analyze that what is right, what is wrong. So it's not someone's duty to tell us what is right or wrong about the Bible. It is our duty to read the whole textbook of that Bible. So this is what the kind of a enlightenment, reawakening thoughts can be seen in the era called Renaissance period. So he is one of the prominent figure who introduced the Renaissance topic to the England land. And also he is one of the best remembered of his landmark work, that is political work Utopia. It is introduced the concept of ideal society, as coined the term of Utopia. Let me tell you why he wanted to mention the name called ideal society, because the present life which he is experiencing in being in England, as while living the life in England, what are the condition of European government doing over the common people? He has observed those things, and the system of politics, system of society, and system of cultural background, system of economical background is not going in a right way. So he just wanted to create a imaginary land. Put the title Utopia. That land name is a Utopia. That Utopia means there should be political field should be like that, political rules should be good, where everyone should enjoy that one, or everyone should happily accept that ruling things, laws. So he just created his own land. And what are the, politics, economical, religious should be rule in that land. Everyone should accept, everyone should ready that following terms and condition of these are the backgrounds. This is what the example of ideal society called utopia. So we can see the term called Swachh Bharat Nirman. This is what the motto of our prime minister. Yes, still we are getting, still we are working for that to become our nation completely as a Swachh Bharat. So we have so much dirtiness. It is our duty to remove that dirtiness and make this land as a Swachh Bharata. Whereas Gandhiji also has introduced the term that is Swarajya. If our Rajya, see, this is our home. How we keep our home? In a very clean way. In a everything should be settled in a proper way. Getting my point? The way we keep our home in a very proper way, the land should be like that. When we talking about the political land, political background, social background, economical background, religious background, everything should be settled in a proper way, where the people should not get difficulty to follow their rules. This is what called ideal thought, ideal society of utopia. So it is written by Thomas More. Fine. What about his birth? What about his birth? Born on February 7, 1478 in London, England. Just I want to check. Am I going right? Okay, fine. And next, father, Sir John Moore, well known for respected one of judge in a King's Badge, whereas mother, Agnes Granger, and their social status is they are coming from the middle class, but connected to the legal and intellectual circles, especially Thomas More. He is by family itself, he knows about the legal authority, legal things, about the law things, and of course intellectual circles. Intellectuality only coming by spirituality. This is what my personal opinion. The person who keeps himself in a religious way, his life leading in a religious way, spiritual way, having a faith, so which made him to think, which made him to intellectual thought, intellectual thinker, by keeping these are the things in his personality. Like Thomas More has kept such things in his personality, so he became one of a intellectual person. Let's begin. How he showed himself one of intellectual shall see enough further. What about his education? At the age of 12, More was placed in the household. Place means he has sent to in this household where the John Morton, known for a religious preacher, archbishop, religious preacher of Canterbury, a land, yes, and also Lord Chancellor, both had observed the or recognized the talent in Thomas More and put the title on him is that he's a one of a talent kind of a person. Who? Thomas More. And studied. After that, he studied in Oxford University, especially showing the importance on learning classical studies, especially Latin and Greek. See, whatever the knowledge, whatever the intellectual things, whatever the unbelievable things, means the Latin and Greek such a huge kind of a box which we can learn everything. This is what the belief of Thomas More, whether it is about art, culture, architecture, religion, humanism, everything. It is a full on packet of knowledge. Once we enter, once we dive into that land, into that literature, into that called the knowledge, we can get so many knowledge. So this is what he thought, and he got that education, especially showing his focus on learning Latin and Greek. What happens next? After return from the London, again he gave the prominence to study law in a first in a New Inn, later on getting the higher education about the learning law in Lincoln's. So finally admitted to the bar in 1501, means finally he is qualified to become a perfect lawyer, eligible for the lawyer. So in 1501. Bar means court, law court, someone. Okay. Next, religious inclination. What are the inclination? What are the desires? What are the inclination means a kind of showing the deep respect towards to the religious, having a deep faith, having the likeness, showing towards to the religious. He is fond of to follow the religious things. Fine. Lived in a deeply spiritual life. Yes. And even wore a hair shirt as an act of penance. Means his whole appearance looking like a religious person from top to bottom. Everyone, if observed to the Thomas More, means he's just represent himself. He's a one of a religious person. Such kind of a dress he's put on in his body or a personality. Fine. Next, considered becoming a monk and lived at a time at the charter house, a Carthian monastery. Carthian monastery means it is a strict place where whoever takes the enter to learn to become a monk, they should follow. Those are the rules, strict rules. So he wanted to become a monk. That's why he takes the entry into the Carthusian monastery. It is a place, it is a school where gives the some rules and regulation to become a king, to become a monk. There must be followed. Means there is a must and should follows to the monk like. What about next? Ultimately choose the marriage, but it is not possible by him, Thomas More, to become a monk. So for that reason he turns, means he ultimately at the end of in his decision he chose the marriage and secular life, non religious person. Secular life means living a life like a common man, not having the qualities of religious, non-religious person like secular life. What about the religious person? Means he should not get a marry, should not have the childrens, always show the devotions towards to the Bible and a God. This is what the religious person. But here mentioned the secular life means non-religious person, and chose the marriage and finally became a secular life, and but remained, what is that, devotedly Catholic. This is very important. However, he put the step into the life, secular life, and got marriages, but still he remains one of a devoted, a kind of a Catholic person. Yes, still he is not, his soul departed away from the religious things. Yes, if I got married also, it's my duty to show my religious things, religious respect towards to the religion. What about the marriage and a family? His first wife, Jane called, having 4 children, that is Margaret, Elizabeth, Cecilia and John. From his first marriage, he has 4 children. What about second marriage? Yes, he gave a life to widow, that is Alice Middleton. But from her first marriage, she has a Alice and raised him as his own daughter. Who? That is Thomas More. Thomas More accepted his daughter. His biologically he is not a father of Alice, but he accepted her as his own daughter and raised as his own daughter. Raised as his own daughter means whatever the opportunities, whatever the equality is giving to his own children, equally he is giving to the this child also. That is what raised his own daughter. And More was a dedicated father, known for his educating his daughters equally with his son, which was rare at the time. See, in during this period, Renaissance period, it is very difficult to give equal education to the female also. But this fellow has shown it. What? He gave the equal education to the daughter and son also. Okay. What about his political career? Finally, he entered in a politics as a member of parliament during at a time of 1504. First he became held. What is that? He held the several important posts. After once he became a member of the parliament, finally he became a he hold the so many positions. Post. First one is a under sheriff of London, a key legal role with popularity among the people. Means whatever means here in this post, what his work mean is that he helped in city governance and legal duties. He helped to the common people with holding the governance and rules, legal duties towards to the common people. And master request, he accept the request of people and follow what's their demands by by becoming a duty of his that post. And privy councillor means advisor. What is that? Advisor of King VIII, King Henry VIII, become a beloved one, beloved advisor of King Henry VIII. Speaker of the House Common means manage debates and law making in Parliament. Parliament, yes. A Speaker of the House of Common. What kind of this post it is? It is about the managing the work of debates and law making in Parliament. Okay, na? And the final one, that is Lord Chancellor. Yes, a first layman, non-clergy, though also he is not a clergy one, but got the position of Lord Chancellor because of his intellectual power and hold the post. Finally, he hold the post. It is one of the highest legal office in England, replacing, okay, it is one of the highest legal office in England where he took that position, where he took the as a post of that position called Lord Chancellor. Close advisor. So in the beginning of taking the, at the age of 12, when he was busy to take the education, that time the two person has recognized him. This fellow is a very intelligent, he may go far away. That time Lord Chancellor also point out, means Lord Chancellor also recognized his talent activity. So finally he became one of a Lord Chancellor. What about next? Chose the advisor to King Henry. See, chose. Am I right? Sorry, close. It is so sorry. Close advisor of King Henry means he became such kind of a person which have the ability to give the advice to King Henry. Such kind of a intellectuality in his personality, and especially during his early reign. During his early reign, becoming the part of this member of parliament, finally he has the ability to give the advice to King Henry VIII. What happens next? Deeply influenced by the Renaissance humanism and a friend of Desiderius Erasmus, a leading humanist. Two humanists, Thomas More, also humanist, and Desiderius Erasmus, also one of the humanists. Deeply influenced by the Renaissance humanism. I told you now, first it is started from the Italy, then spread to the England, France and Germany. What are the themes are here seen has seen in Italy, that themes are inspired to the England, France and Germany too. So deeply he is influenced by the Renaissance, especially the humanism. Humanism in following of human values. Learning, classical writing, showing the interest of art, architecture. Yes, these are what Renaissance humanism. And one more thing, I want to introduce about his close friend, Desiderius Erasmus. He has written one book on More. What is that? What is that? Praise to folly. This is dedicated to this fellow, dedicated this work to Mr. More, Who knows, might ask in a competitive exam. Keep this thing. Next, what about next? Major works. His major work is Utopia 1516. By seeing the governance of British English government, he created his own land. The land should be like that. The rulers should are like that. Yes, and the society should be like that. The people should be like that. The people should not get harmed from the ruling power of king and queens or governance of English government. People should feel happiness. They should feel happy. They should live their life without any, rules and regulation should show any kind of a torture on them. It should be like a pure society, noble society, and a kind of a free kind of a land should be there. This is what the words of Thomas More on making a land called Utopia. Okay, next, what about this? This Utopia is written in Latin, later on published in English. What it describes? It is an imaginary land. Utopia is nothing but it is one of a imaginary land with a perfect. If you observe the system of society, it is a perfect way. System of political, it is in a perfect way. Where we can, compare to the present situation in English government, how it is a imperfect way. Yes, but my land, what I have created called the Utopia, we can see all kind of a perfectness in that land. So land should be like that, not like this Britain English government society. It should not like that. It should be like that. So he put on his own words on creating this imaginary land. Fine. What about there in that Utopia book? The first thing, critics as an English society. First they have started to criticize the English society, how the society is, how it shows the inequality towards the common people, poor people and rich people. What about the corruption indirectly, but knowingly, unknowingly, how they have corrupted on people. And the term Utopia comes from Greek meaning, that is no place. Utopia means, yes, exactly, there is no place. It is imaginary land which is created by Thomas More. The name is Utopia. There is no end. Originally land can be seen in that particular England. Fine. What about the second? What about the second work? That is History of King Richard. If you study about the King Richard's life, how he's ruling, what kind of a ruler he is completely tyrant, cruel, danger, always put the people in a dangerous, always give the torture, trouble, totally the people of that land called King Richard's second, third land is not happy. So this is what he put, means he portrays the ruling power of King Henry during in England during Renaissance period. It is just like a Richard III. We can see this theme in the work of William Shakespeare's third. We can see how William Shakespeare has portrayed the Richard as one of a cruel king. We can see this reflection, this theme in his work, that is Shakespeare's work, Richard III. Fine. Next, dialogue concerning heresies. The confutation of Tyndale's answer and other polemical. What is that polemical? Controversial works. It is about the controversial works as defending the Catholic Church. Whatever gave the words against Catholic Church, he shows he is defending words on his works. Those works are called polemical works, means controversial work. How the works made this work, means how the words made these works as a controversial work. What is happened in a dialogue concerning heresies? The first thing is that it is argued against Protestant. How the Protestant shows disrespect towards the Catholic Church. There he defended in this work. And the Confusional of Tyndale answer. It is a detailed response of Tyndale's attacks on a Catholic doctrine, especially Pope and Church authority. How that this fellow William Tyndale has shows the words on Catholic Church and the Pope and his authority. He defended by in his words in this work. So this is what called polemical works too. Okay, there is one more work, a treatise. This is important, that's why I am writing a treatise on the passion. This is also one of polemical work. When more were in jail, he wrote this work. Getting my point? Such kind of a question can be seen in a competitive exam. Okay, fine. Next, what about the conflict with the king? How it has affect, means what are the effects made to conflict with King Henry? Let's begin. Initially a loyal servant to Henry VIII, opposed the king's divorce from Catherine of Aragon and marriage to Anna Boleyn. So here the what king does, king divorced to the he wanted to divorce his first wife, want to get married to Anna Boleyn, but he tries to stop him. It's not a duty of playing this game, because marriage is a sacred thing. You should not follow this one. If Pope allow you to do this one, then only you do. If he is denying, means it's duty to deny this one. It is duty to not to marry the second lady and leaving the first wife. This is how he put his rejection about his word. What happens this? What happens from his rejection, not accepting, not showing the respect towards the king? The second thing is happening that Henry VIII has established his church and become a head of that church and told to more, accept me as a head of this church. He denied that one. No, you are not a head of this church. The head is Pope, and Pope is the representation of God. How you become a head of this church? You are a caretaker of common people who is created by us. Such kind of a words made to angry King Henry. That's why he refused to accept the claim as a supreme head of the Church of England. I am the supreme power who got the power. You should accept me as your head, not a pope. When he put this notion in his mind, he denied that one. Who? Thomas More, and resigned as a Lord Chancellor post. Finally, he resigned this post, unwilling to support the break from the Rome. So this is what, yes, no, I won't accept this thing that king is a head of this church, means no, highly impossible, because he is a king. Yes, the Pope is the head of the church. This is how he put his words in front of king. For that reason, he denied, means he snatched the post of Lord Chancellor, and also Thomas More in himself he surrendered and resigned this post called Lord Chancellor. What happens next? Arrested or trial executions. Arrested in 1534 because of his disrespect towards the king's words and refusing the oath of supremacy. Getting my point? Oath of supremacy. King is a head. King is a supreme. He is the having all kind of a superior quality, not a pope. So he denied that one. He refused that. For that reason, he arrested. And where he imprisoned in the Tower of London. Yes, in this jail, they put him, the Tower of London, for over a year. During that time, he has written a treatise on the passion. Keep this. I told you. It treatise on the passion. During this time, he has written this book. Fine. Tried for the treason. Means accused him. accused him means Thomas More, that he is the disbeliever of God. He showed the disrespect towards the king, disbeliever of king, showing his disrespect towards the king, not a follower of a king, as betraying the king and kingdom, betraying the king and kingdom. Let him to be in a jail. He is not a suit for take this job called Lord Chancellor. So this is how. And convicted on a false testimony. King itself created a person who gives the against words on Thomas More. False testimony. Someone came and give his evidence. This fellow has shows betraying to king and his kingdom. So this is how shows the wrong evidence on Thomas More. This affects him to take his life. Fine. Executed by the beheading on July 6 and 1535 at a Tower Hill. So they have taken their life in a Tower Hill by killing his or by cutting his head. This is how he called martyred of the Renaissance period. So at the last words, what he says, I die the king's God servant. Definitely, I become a servant of a king, but first God's. I am a servant of first God, then to the king. At the end of his last life, he says these are the words. What about his legacy? What he's made the mark in the land called literary world, canonized as a Catholic saint in 1935 by the Pope Pius XI. He put the statement title on him, Catholic saint, one of the protector of a Catholic. Such kind of a saint he became. Named patron saint of politicians and statesmen. Named patron saint of politicians and statesmen means he is also coming under the names of patron saint of politicians and statesmen, one of the wise men, and celebrated for his moral courage. See the way he put the words in front of king about his kingship. The first is God and then is Pope, after you come. This is what very daring kind of a thing which he put in front of king. That is what called a moral courage. The person who leads his life in a morally, he never take the wrong step. The person who leads his life in a morally, he can ready to face anything. Yes, such kind of a personality we can observe in a Thomas More. Fine. Intellectual integrity, he has all kind of intellectual thing. And the defense of conscience means he is having the very strong belief in a religious thing, following the spirituality and giving the very spiritual words towards to the people, to the land, to the everyone. And the personality and values, what about his personality and value? Known for his wit, humor and intellectual and principled nature. Known for a wit, humor and intellect and principle nature. He has all kind of these are the nature in his personality. And advocated for education of women. Yes, in his time, he gave the equal education to son and daughter. That is very rare, but he has done that one. And believed in a rule of law, justice and moral authority of the church. Whatever the church gives, the laws, justice, moral authority, that he has a strong belief towards to the church. The rules, the laws and the authority, the moral, these are coming from the whatever the coming from the church, I should accept that one. This is what his strong belief about church and the religious themes of from church. And next, what about the culture and history? Featured in a Robert Bolt play. We can see the life story of, in this work, a play, A Man for All Season. That is Thomas More. How he leads his life. How he become a, inspiration to the other generation. Inspiration to the all kind of a people. So a man for all season, to whom this title is, to whom it gives, means that is Thomas More. Kill, such kind of a question can be occurred in a competitive exam. Who is that man known for a man for all season? That is Thomas More. Who is written this work? That is Robert Bolt. It is one of a play. Fine. Which was adapted into a Oscar winning award also and become a film in 1966. Seen by a Catholics as a martyr, according to we justify who is Thomas More. He is a Catholic person, believer of Catholic, known as a martyr. What about the humanist? Known as a thinker. What about the historian? Known as a statesman of principles. He's a strictly follower of principles. While we studied, according to historically, he's a great statesman. And what about his major work? The first one, that is Utopia of Europe. That is satire, Latin in a language. It is written in a Latin. And what is the purpose of this theme? To see our ideal society, and also shows the critics on England society. And second one is history of Richard III, and dialogue of comfort against tribulations, dialogue concerning heresies, confutations of Tyndale, and these four works are considered as a polemical polematic works, controversial works, don't forget. Next, the Tristia Trial Christi, treatise on the passion. When he was in a jail, he has written this work. And Latin poems, these are his major and also minor works. Hope so, yes, you have understood this class. See, completing the means telling the biography of Thomas More, it may take 10 or 15 minutes. No, we should read everything from political background, social background, economical background, cultural background. Why we study these by backgrounds, we can see the reflection of all in his work. So that's why I may made a little lengthy on this topic, but definitely it will help on you in your future days. So read it properly, and this syllabus is for MA English students who are studying, who are doing MA. Okay, fine. We'll stop here. Okay, thank you for my class. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like. Thank you. Bye bye.